Most improved. If we're looking at his Skip Sheffield days, then yeah, I would have to go with Ryback. Same thing as Tony has stated, because Ryback as a character, no one expected him to have this Goldberg-like push that helped elevate him, and everyone, including me, thought this guy, that's it, once his push against Punk is over, once Punk actually defeats him for the WWE Championship, then Ryback will just go. But he hasn't, and he's maintained his durability as a character. He's got that feud going on with the Shield at the moment, and he's impresses me. He continues to impress me, and I'm not a fan of the big muscly WWE-esque guys, but I don't think Sheffield is that type of guy. I think he has a smart mind to him, and he is getting better and better as a character. He's understanding who he is and using those strengths to make him as dominant and as endearing to the crowd as possible. As soon as he gets that arm going and the crowd chants "feed me more," you know he's over, and he's getting a hell of a lot more protection than John Cena at this point in time. So, see him as the face of the company eventually. Not yet, but eventually. Least improved. This is where I disagree with Tony on leaps and bounds on it. He says R-Truth. I don't believe R-Truth is the least improved character in the WWE. Truth is there for a point. He was a far better heel. Like what happened with Sheamus, he's been placed in a position where he's not being allowed to be the character that he should be. He's not being given the mic time that he should be, and he's not being the R-Truth that we all know and love. My least improved pick would have to go with someone, well, Tensai, believe it or not, because if you go back to his days as Albert, if you go back to his days as A-Train, he's literally the same guy. He hasn't done much else apart from standing and screaming. And I understand he's got a kid to feed. We all have got the family situation going on, but he needs to bring up a more assertive presence, and I don't think he can be the monster heel anymore. So maybe they need to look at him and repackage him to be something different. I don't know what got him over in Japan, because I don't watch Japanese wrestling that much anymore, because like WWE and TNA, I feel that Japanese wrestling has become a show of its former self, because it adheres more to Americans, and bringing guys over that they feel are big stars, than actually looking at bringing out their own talent pool. But yeah, you never know. With Albert, we'll see what happens. Best and worst matches of the year. I would have to say my pick for best match of the year has to be Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk for the WWE Championship. My God, they put on a clinic, and with the addition of AJ to it, it worked really, really well. It brought a nice little storyline element and brought AJ up to everybody's, to the front line where she needs to be. Elevated Bryan to no end because he's just this amazing character, and added another notch for CM Punk, and it proved that two technical guys can do it, a la Shawn Michaels and Bret in the 90s. These guys worked their asses off and showed what they could do, and it elevated Kane as well when they added him to the feud. So bravo to those two. First, yeah, I would have to go with Santino Marella versus Ricardo Rodriguez in a tuxedo match. Never needed to happen. Didn't want it to happen. It's not funny, and I know Vince gets a chuckle out of these sort of things, but I don't. You don't understand sometimes how you downplay a rather credible company because that company at this point in time is going on autopilot, and then when you have people who are in there, who are in the in crowd sitting there laughing at their own jokes, and the crowd's not laughing with you, there's a problem. And Santino either needs to get put into more of a comedy commentator role or a comedy gimmick role like the Brooklyn Brawler before him and all these other characters. That's fine. Don't add that into it all the time because it gets freaking annoying.